Alrighty, welcome to the Red and Black. I am here with Christian Schifano. Schifano wrestled at 138 at last year and was a 2020 Catholic State finalist. He finished runner-up. And thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to do this interview. It means a lot. We're going to get started right away. In 2019, you wrestled at 126 pounds, and I believe you had a 6th place finish in the Catholic State tournament.
Yeah.
I don't know what seed you were at Catholic States, but I know you had a couple of really good matches in the tournament.
I was the 16th seed.
You were the 16th seed, and you finished 6th.
Yeah.
Which is very impressive. So let's talk a little bit about that tournament. I know you had a pretty interesting blood round match, I believe it was.
Yeah.
I believe it went into overtime. I think they waved off a 2, so the match had to keep going.
It was what happened was I was down by 1 with about 20 seconds left. I got a takedown. They debated the takedown, and then I was eventually given it. And then they said I clasped. So it was 2-1. And then they said I clasped with like a second left because I was trying to mat return, and I guess when I brought him down, I let go of my hands fast enough.
Uh-huh.
But so they debated that call for about 10 minutes, and then they gave it to him, and then went into overtime, and then I beat him.
Yeah,
I took him down.
Because I remember I was watching it. I don't know if I was getting ready for my semifinal match, or if I had just gotten off the mat from wrestling my match. I think I actually might have just finished wrestling, because your match was going on at the same time, I think, as my quarters.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it was my semifinals, and it was your blood round, I believe. So I had just gotten off the mat, and I was watching, and I think you had gotten 2. You waved off the 2, and then you got another takedown that they ruled, and there was no debate over it. And I believe you actually wrestled your starter for 5th and 6th place, correct? Later in the tournament.
Yeah, I did. Michael Simmer, I wrestled him for 5th and 6th, and he pinned me.
And he pinned you. All right.
Yeah.
Very interesting, considering the fact that you actually wrestled him again the following year in the semifinals. Which we're going to get to in a little bit. So you had a very entertaining and crazy finals match with you this year. Literally, shots firing back and forth on all sides. The crowd was very into the match. But that wasn't the first time you actually wrestled Crisci. You actually wrestled him for the first time at Leagues. And it was in the semifinals of Leagues. And I think the final score was 8. The final score was 8-2. So talk a little bit about that match, knowing that the Catholic State Finals, the score wasn't that far. It was a 1-point match all around the entire match. So talk a little bit about that first meeting with Crisci and the adjustment you had to make if you were to, which you eventually did, wrestle him again.
So I think the first time I wrestled him, I never wrestled someone like that tall and lanky before, so I definitely wasn't used to that. But I was also like, I know I was gonna wrestle him, so I was training all season for that match. Like my leg defense, because he's a lot of legs. Like he didn't score a single point on me with using his legs, and that's because I drilled that defense day in, day out in practice. And then a big transition I made from my first meeting with the second meeting with him is like I kept getting stuck in a position where I tried to go for a reversal, and my legs would get caught. So I remember it was like the day before Catholic States. I was in practice. I was drilling leg defense. I was like, "Yo, coach, what do I do?" And then he was like, when you stand up, you grab his leg, and then you stand up, and then you turn into him a little bit. And then I used that move to get the reversal in the second period. I remember talking to my coach after, and he was so happy. He showed me the move once. I didn't drill it or anything. He just showed it to me. I was able to use it. So that was a big one. And another adjustment I made is I kept getting on all my shots, during our first meeting, I couldn't finish a single shot because I kept getting, extended. And like I did everything I could to, prevent that. I think I took better shots. I took quicker shots that he wasn't able to defend. But in the third period of our first match, I took him down once. And like after I got that takedown, I was pretty exhausted. So I don't think that's why I was able to make maybe a little bit better of a comeback. But after that, I knew like if I just like drilled the right thing in the next week, I could wrestle him a lot better than I did the first time.
All right. So very interesting. So you didn't really drill much of that move your coach was telling you, and you were able to pick up on it.
Yeah.
And actually not only pick up on it, but actually utilize that in a match without even having to drill that, which is very impressive. Not a lot of people can pick up on stuff by just watching it. A lot of people have to like constantly drill it and almost make it muscle memory in order to incorporate that in their matches, which is very cool to see that you really didn't have that chance to go through and drilling with it due to the time or stuff like that. And you were actually able to apply it. And it also seemed like gas tank was a big help with your second match, because in that second match, there was a lot of action going on. Both guys extremely tired. I saw the look on you and Chrissy's face. You guys were exhausted, but you guys kept going. It was crazy. It was just
insane.
So you finished third in leagues, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes, I had the bracket actually. So you finished third. Your third place match was actually against DiDonato of St. Anthony's.
Yeah.
And it looked like it was a quick fall.
Yeah. I wrestled him twice that day, and then again at States.
Yeah, that was actually your quarterfinals match. So the result ended up being the same. There was only probably like a 20 or 40-second difference between how long it took to pin him the second time, which is still very impressive to shut out your opponent twice like that in a single tournament and then go on and do it again at the following like a week or two later. So we're now up to the 2020 Catholic State Tournament. You were seeded third, I believe. Your starter was the 2 seed, meaning that you would have eventually seen him in the semifinal.
Yeah.
So I have never seen this happen where a starter loses in the semifinals to their backup, which is really crazy, considering the fact that not only did you go to beat your starter in the semifinals, but you went on to have a crazy close match with Crisci. So talk a little bit about that semifinals match. I have it pulled up if you want to watch it and we can take a look at it. I know that there was one exchange in the match where it actually got you a pretty good lead. I believe it was a reversal to the back, but if you want to watch that.
Yeah. So we can definitely take a look at it. I'll talk about it for a couple of seconds. I lost to him 13-3 in the wrestle off in the beginning of the season. And I was pretty upset about that. I'm not going to lie. So the same thing with Christian. I knew I was going to wrestle him again. So, he's my teammate and I love him. But, I also wanted to win. So I put in my head at the beginning of the season that I'm going to end the season as the Catholic State champ and nobody's going to stop me. So he's also a big leg guy, and he's all his points that he scored on me were all like from legs, and I couldn't defend them. I didn't know how. So I worked on that. I also worked on my crackdown position because he's a big crackdown person. He's very good at sitting in the corner. And I also worked on my gas tank. I knew if I didn't get tired and I kept pushing him, that eventually I'd be able to edge out like a late takedown to the back or something like that, which I did. So the main key there was just never giving up.
Yeah. I see a lot of that in your matches. For the interview today, I was actually watching a lot of matches and stuff like that for whether upcoming interviews or specifically this interview. So I watched these. I watched your previous rounds and stuff like that in the finals and stuff like that. And I have the match pulled up. We can break down the match. So here we are, right here. This is the live stream that took place last year.
Mm-hmm.
So Rocco had just stepped off the mat. He got
I think he pinned him. Yeah,
he pinned Dominic Seminara of St. Anthony's. A pretty dominant performance by Rocco all around the entire.
He only majored him in the beginning of the season during the dual meet.
Yeah, it was Ash. He had a pretty dominant victory at state duels and here.
Yeah.
So actually, on the topic of Rocco, I don't know if you saw the interview that I did with him before. So you guys are only a weight class apart, all around between 26, 32, 38. After watching Sanfilippo and DiMartino, semifinals and finals, win their matches, let's talk about this before we get into the match. How did that affect you in like a more positive way, seeing your teammates going out there, pinning or just winning their semifinals and finals matches, giving you that sort of momentum heading into your semifinals or finals match?
I think not so much the semifinals match because I was wrestling my teammate.
Yeah.
So I was like more worried about that, and I was watching the matches. I was cheering them on, but I was more getting ready for that. For that match, like mentally, and then definitely a lot more. So I during the finals match, I think I got a little too riled up before, like watching my teammate Shane pin the kid in the finals.
Yeah.
And both my teammates win in a row, and then I want to close it out. So I was definitely getting like, I think I should have focused a little more on warming up, and not jumping up and down too much and wasting energy like that. But it definitely got me pumped up. It definitely got me excited. I think also that's one of the reasons why I went out there and for the most part I had a pretty dominant match because I was ahead until the last 20 seconds. I was ahead.
Yeah. So let's get right into this match.
Okay.
Well, let's get it started. Let me lower this a little bit. So for those who may have not been to the tournament, stuff like that, we are in the semifinals of the Catholic State Tournament. Oh, this kid.
I'm the one with the black.
Oh, wow. So actually in the first 10 seconds, you get hit for stalling.
Yeah, I did not agree with that, but he did shoot me out. So
see, out of bounds rules are always changing. Literally every year, like every season, they're changing that rule. Like I remember my freshman year, if you shot the kid out of bounds, it's the other kid stalling. But I think they changed it. I think by junior year or something like that. That if you shoot the kid out, you were stalling.
Yeah,
if I shoot an opponent out, I shouldn't be hit for stalling.
Yeah, that's stupid. I think my main tactic in the first period, like I didn't shoot a single shot. I was just wearing on his head, just trying to get his morale down a little bit.
You're trying to feel him out the first period.
Yeah. I just kept up, I just kept up with the pressure. Because he's also like a very defensive person, like he doesn't take a lot of shots. He's very good at like defense. So I have to make sure like whatever shots I do take, like they can't be like stupid. Like I gotta set them up properly.
having to wrestle smart, making sure that if you're shooting your heads up, that you have to be in good position, knowing that he's a defensive
Yeah.
wrestler.
Yeah.
So he starts it off on bottom.
Yeah, and then he gets a pretty quick reversal. I'd say my top game is probably the worst aspect of my wrestling. I mean, I've definitely gotten better now, but going into that tournament, I was pretty crappy on top. I did not know like what move I want to hit. I just knew how to like kind of hang on the arm and bulldog the ankle, and that was about it. And you can see, I believe he got the reversal there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now for me, I was pretty upset that he got the reversal there, but I knew like at this point in the match, like all I had to do is just make sure he doesn't score any top points, because that would be huge if he did. Huge for him, not for me.
Like you said, talking about the legs, I can see he's trying to get a leg in there. He's going crab right here. He was trying to roll you over and try to sneak a boot in, but you're doing very good at keeping those legs out.
Yeah.
And he manages to get a little bit of it in, but he doesn't get it all the way. So it looks like you're going to get this reversal here.
But I did. He was able to hip in. He had very good hips. He was very
He got
good
his
at, like,
up, and now he's back on top.
Yeah.
So I see that you have the tape on your shoulder. Did you get hurt or injured heading into the tournament?
Yeah. Either wrestling Crisci or Luke Sherry the week before, I sprained my AC joint.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I remember practicing that the whole entire week. Practicing was awful. I could barely take a shot without like getting in on it, and it just completely killing my shoulder. And it was definitely very painful, but I think once I was at the tournament, the adrenaline kind of kicked in.
Yeah, you didn't really feel it as much.
Yeah.
Which makes it all the more impressive that you made it to the finals.
Yeah.
So right here, we have a little over 30 seconds left in the second period. Nothing score. Semirara riding very tough on top, but you're shutting him out from legs and scoring points here, and you're up right away. And it looks like you're going to get this reversal here.
He locked me up in a stalemate. He also had a very, very good grip strength. So.
They called a stalemate right there.
Yeah. I don't know, that ref was like very stingy with the the stalemates and the stall calls. He also didn't like me very much, I don't think.
Because I was going to say, right here, you can maybe call it in this position, but you're getting here, you're looking like you're going to lock up a cradle. That's not a stalemate. He should have let that go another couple of seconds before calling.
And there's also 6 seconds left in the period, too.
Yeah. So he actually blew it off for the...
Yeah. But
the clock here is off a bit.
At the end of the match, he pulled me aside. He's like, "You're lucky I didn't call you for stalling more." I was like, "What?"
That's very unprofessional.
Yeah. Especially in the last 10 seconds, I was just staring at the clock, just trying to run it out.
As you're right in on that shot, he looks like he's trying to force crackdown or try to grab that ankle. And And he's not calling 2 here. I think you got to hook that ankle there, which you do get a little bit of.
Yeah, we get stuck in this position. He's gonna call another stalemate here. He trapped my arm. I don't think you can see it too well, but he trapped my arm. My
Yeah,
right
I
arm.
think it's your left arm.
Oh, my left arm, yeah.
You can see Crisci's watching this match.
Yeah. He pinned his kid in the semifinals. He came right over.
So he's probably keeping an eye out on who he has to wrestle.
Yeah, because
To be honest, we all pretty much do that. Especially if we finished a match early, we're like, all right, let's see who I have next.
Yeah, especially because Samararo beat him the week before.
Samararo did beat him.
Yeah, in the finals of leagues, and that's where I get the backs. I probably shouldn't let him roll over that easily, but
so interesting considering that Samararo beat Crisci 10-6 in the finals of leagues. I'm confused as to why he got the 2 seed and not the 1, and Crisci got the 1 seed.
because Crisci had a better record, I believe. Because Crisci beat Samararo, but Samararo also lost to that kid from Holy Trinity. So I believe that's why Samararo only got the 2 seed. But the kid from the Holy Trinity took 6th in leagues. Like he was good, but then he just had a really, really
Bad tournament.
at leagues, yeah. He got upset like 3 times in a row.
Oh wow.
And he was a 2 seed, yeah. And see, he's gonna hit me for stalling again here because he said I was looking right there. You see, I was looking at the clock. Just to see how much time I had left, and I got hit.
So let's go back to that position that. So right here.
Yeah.
It was actually before here. This is after. We hit a nice little switch right about here.
Yeah.
We're elevating that leg. Samararo's right on his hip here. He's looking the hip over. And it looks like you almost put him to his back here. He gives you 2 swipes. So it's the 2 reversal, 2 near fall, I believe. So
Yeah.
he gives you the swipes here. And then you ride him out. And I guess that extra point was the stalling point.
Yeah. Extra point was a point for stalling.
I don't know if I agree with that one, but I'm not a ref, so I can't make a judgment on that.
Yeah. He came out to me and said, you kept looking at the clock, so I hit you for stalling. I was like, really? So I'm about to upset my team. I gotta see how much time I gotta ride this person for. Yeah, right there.
He gives you the stall point after he blows.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's the one who refed my finals match too.
I think he did because I think he does the finals matches. I think it's him and another ref. They take turns.
And in my opinion, he gave me some very unfair stalling calls in that match too.
Because I believe he refed my finals match the year before and 2019 and 2020, I believe.
Yeah. He called me for stalling as I took a shot. In the first period, in the first 30 seconds of the period.
If it's stalling, he calls it in the position that you're not really stalling, so it looks bad. So you may have been stalling like the 5 seconds before that, but when he actually calls it, like there was actually position to wrestle.
Yeah.
Like when he's calling the stalemate or stalling, where it's like even if you're looking at a clock to see how much time you have, there's not really much of stalling there because you can look at a clock to see how much time you have. But if you're just literally like locking them up and not trying to do anything or something like that, trying to like create a stalemate or trying not to keep an action going because you want to just edge out the last couple of seconds, then I can see a stall call heading. But at the time I called it, I can't really agree with it. But you still ended up winning the match regardless of those questionable calls that we saw. And what else? So you had a very impressive finals match. Unfortunately, it didn't go the way you were heading for it to go. But talk about the experience of being in the finals, what that atmosphere was like, and some upcoming goals you have for the next season. Which, those who don't know, the Catholic League got the AOK pretty much to start a season on April 17th, I believe it is.
Yeah, April 17th. But it was pretty awesome, you know, having that many people cheer me, that many people boo me. But, you know, I've never been to a finals match of a tournament before. Like, that was the first time. So I've never had, like, unless it's like a dual meet, I've never had a match with that many people who's just watching my match and like rooting like for the outcome. So that was cool. I remember when Crisci got that last takedown, I remember getting goosebumps because of just the noise.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was crazy. That gym was like, the room was shaking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after that, you know, between that and, you know, the CHSAA meme page, making a meme about it, I was pretty upset. And, like, you know, I set a goal for myself. When the season ended, it was like, it's not a goal that I can achieve now because of COVID. I want to, you know, be a state placer, like, but I think now that's morphed into I'm gonna go undefeated this season with the short season, and I want to win every single match to close out my senior season, which I think I can definitely do. But to like get there, you know, it was hard, you know, training from like March to July before I started going back to a club to wrestle. I was doing, like, you know, workouts. I have like a little setup in my basement, so I'd lift 2 hours every morning, and then at night I'd run 6 miles as like kind of like a punishment for losing. And then I'd do like an hour of like wrestling drills in my front yard. Just like I had like bands that I'd do workouts with, and I would just do a lot of shadow wrestling. Right. So there's that. And I think that's basically it for I just do that every single day, 5 days a week.
All right. So it seemed like you had alternatives for getting some workouts in.
Yeah.
Even though because of COVID, a lot of places have been shut down, whether it's gyms or wrestling clubs and stuff like that. So it's very nice to hear that you have other ways of being able to chase that goal and stuff like that to keep you in shape and keep you at performance almost. So it seems like your goals are just completely dominate for the short time that you have. Win every match, blow out every single opponent that you have, leave no doubt your senior year. And I believe this season they're enforcing like the new weight classes and stuff like that. So what weight do you see yourself going for this season?
I'll probably go 152. I'll probably have to cut like 3 pounds, which is absolutely nothing. But that's also what I've done since freshman year. Yeah. I remember sophomore year, I tried to cut down to 20. I didn't cert. Well, I mean, I did cert for 120, 122. I certed, but that year they made a rule where you can only cert twice, and you can't cert a third time. So I made 122 on my third attempt.
Oh, and they wouldn't let you cut down.
And then they were like, "Look, we can only take your first 2."
Oh wow! So then you had to stay at 26.
And the thing is, the second time I started, I knew it was nowhere close to 122. Like I passed the piss test each time, So once you pass the piss test, like the first time I started 123, the second time I started like 126, but that's because I was still cutting down to 122, you know?
Yeah.
So my coach was like, take it today, even though we know you're not close, but just take it. And if I didn't take it, I waited the next day, I would have started 122. I probably would end up going down a weight class sophomore year. But I'm okay that didn't happen. Like, I think it worked out for the best anyway.
Yeah, you still got a very good tournament out of it. You still placed.
Yeah.
Matches all around.
My match with what was his name? My blood round match.
Oh, Frank Joya from my school, Monster.
Yeah. I wrestled him at the Kellenberg tournament.
Yeah, I heard.
And he beat me pretty badly. I walked out of that tournament like pretty upset because I just felt like I could do better, and I just, you know. So that was another match I was like kind of like preparing for all season, and I knew I was gonna wrestle him, and I just went out there and I just wanted it more than he did. I feel like in the end.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I don't really cut too much weight. Just normally when I start, like last year, I wanted to go all the way back down to 126, and then I tried to, but then I failed the piss test when I was weighing like 130, and then the next day I weighed in 137, like 0.1. I started 137. Like every single year, my page is like fours and fives.
So let's talk about your coaches for a second. I believe you also train at I think it's Savage Wrestling Academy.
Yeah.
A couple of your teammates. So on top of the wrestling club and your coaching staff, talk a little about like their impact on you on and off the mat.
So I have one coach especially that has been with me since freshman year. Like, you know, obviously like Coach Ecardino, they've done so much for my wrestling, for my technique. But, you know, freshman year, I was like a crappy JV wrestler. The only thing I knew how to do was just like, you know, snap down and spin behind and a half. Those are two moves I knew. And somehow I still made it to Catholic States. I was pretty happy about that. And I started wrestling like with a month and a half left with the season. like I was on the team, but I wasn't wrestling at dual meets. There was like people ahead of me that were better. And so I got my chance a month and a half, and I was happy about that. But I had one coach that, you know, has been with me since freshman year. Like, he's always believed in me. He's always like motivated me, you know, keep going. You're gonna be on top one day. And, you know, he was right. Like, you know, as long as I kept up, I would do great. And he's just always been in my corner.
That's very cool. I know that I have a couple of coaches like that that have been in my corner a lot, especially like my from freshman through senior year. My coach Peter Ham, he's been in my corner since I wrestled for the middle school club.
Yeah.
Ray Brinzer, that man's just a wizard. He's just literally just like a fountain of knowledge for wrestling. And Rock Endokai, a very big impact for my freshman year and throughout high school. And talk a little bit about Savage. It's a club in Long Island, I believe.
It's in Huntington now. We had to change locations a couple times because of COVID. But it's run by my not my head coach, but like my assistant coach. But he's a PA guy. He's amazing. He took third in D1 nationals. So he's great. He's also like a fountain of knowledge for wrestling. Like all the technique I've learned, like the reason why I started wrestling my freshman year, and I've been able to progress as far as I have. Like I owe it all to him because he's worked with me so much, like with my technique and everything. And then I have Coach Foxon, and you know Joe Foxon. He's a Garden City kid. I don't think you know, but his older brother. He's my coach. He wrestled for D1 for Brown. Also a fountain of knowledge for wrestling. He's the coach who told me about that move that I used in my final match. He was working with me all season with my leg defense. Like he was the main one for that. And then, Coach Cole, obviously, he's the head coach. So he kind of like ran the logistics and everything like that. And then, Coach Murawski, the strength and conditioning coach, why we were all in such good shape. And yeah. And then we had, a bunch of like alumni that would come and coach, like Coach Gray and Coach James. So
there's a lot of people in the coaching staff that are there helping on almost a daily basis when it comes to those practices. So you're getting help all around, whether it's lifting, or technique, or conditioning, or.
At any given practice, we would have maybe 7 coaches there.
Oh wow, that's very.
And they're all like just there to get us better, help with the technique, and make sure we are where we need to be with our wrestling.
Which is very good. A lot of programs or even clubs can't say that they have a lot in coaching staff. They'd be lucky to have 2 or 3, maybe even 4. So it's very nice to see there's a lot of involvement with the clubs. I know with Farrell, we have guys that will come back and coach. We have a pretty large coaching staff. So it's nice to see a lot of clubs and stuff having a lot of help all around and having certain coaches with a good area in certain things, whether it is lifting or conditioning,
that's
technique.
Those are the Chaminade coaches. I mean, they come to Savage every now and then, but we don't really see them there. But Coach Accordino, the coach that runs Savage, the PA guy, he's got like a strength, like he's now got like a personal trainer in there.
Oh, wow.
We do a lot of stuff with like there's another team, Long Beach, like that's another town, and like we have a lot of coaches from there, come and coach our practices when we were practicing out of Long Beach. But yeah, there's a lot of like camaraderie with like coaching, and like parents, like the ones that like wrestled all their life and then now have their kids wrestle, they'll help out.
Yeah.
So
very cool to see that program is and that club is constantly growing too. Now that you're getting a personal trainer in there.
He started my freshman year, his club. He started it like officially, like Savage Wrestling, and it's grown like crazy.
Yeah. So it's really cool to see how much it keeps continuing to grow, and that they're always looking to make improvements, additions, whether it's the coaching staff or the atmosphere, or even if it's changing the location, which is very cool to hear about, and see how much bigger it's continuing to get. Do you have any final words you'd like to say to anybody watching at home, maybe anybody who's looking to get on the top of the podium, who may have been struggling to get there, or someone who doesn't know?
Sorry.
Could you hear me?
You cut out there for a second. I think I know what you're gonna say. I mean, just keep grinding, like just because someone tells you you're not gonna be on top, you're not gonna be able to do this. You don't gotta listen to them. As long as you set a goal for yourself and it's like realistic, not like it's like your second or third year wrestling. You say you're gonna be a public state champ. Obviously, that'd be nice, but realistically, that's not gonna happen. You gotta set realistic goals for yourself, and then you gotta do everything in your power to achieve those goals.
It's like a first year wrestler saying that they want to win nationals. Like, yeah, that's nice to hear. Yeah, we're happy that you're setting a goal that high, but focus on short-term stuff first. Build on that.
to build up to your long-term goals. Yeah.
Alrighty. So you're the man. Keep grinding and
Thank you.
Goals short term and work on them for your long-term goals. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to be a part of this. It really means a lot.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Really hoping to see a lot of action heading into this season. A lot of wrestlers looking to see you on the top of the podium.
Yeah.
Looking to see you at the podium at States.
All right. Actually, there's not going to be a States this year. It's just leagues.
Just leagues. No Catholic States, so it's ending at leagues.
Yeah, I believe so.
I think I heard about that, actually. I think my brother was telling me about that. So
I said maybe they got to see, like Buffalo schools.
Yeah.
But, like, maybe they'll try, but I don't even think so, because it's like how many people were there last year? Like 700? 600?
There's a lot. Unless you get, like, a big area, if they want to do, like, the social distancing thing.
You can do, like, an outdoor thing, honestly.
Yeah, it could be outdoors, honestly, even though it'll be, like, a 2-day thing. But,
yeah.
Mikey was telling me that pretty much your Catholic States is your league tournament, and they're calling that Catholic States. So you're going to have, like, 3 or 4 different Catholic State champs at the same weight, something like that. I heard some.
But you have, because, for each league.
Yeah. So they're calling that, like, Catholic States, which I think is kind of like.
I mean, call it what it is. It's leagues. It's okay.
That's what it is.
You're still a league champ. Like,
it's like they're calling there's a journeyman tournament, and they're calling New York State tournament.
That I like, because that you have to pre-qualify for. So I'm all signed up for that one. So I'm excited.
Are you officially entered, or are you on our waiting list?
No, I officially entered. I signed up for that the week it came out, because I knew that was gonna fill up like wildfire.
Yeah, Mikey's in. I believe Shane is in.
I know.
I saw the qualifications. I actually posted it on the Instagram for the website, and the pre-qualifications were pretty much if you placed or won New York States in the past. I think you're like automatically in.
Yeah. It was if you placed in New York States, and then like if you placed in like top like 5 in the county, in like some county, like for each county it was different depending on like how hard the county is.
Yeah.
So Nassau County and Suffolk County, which are like really, really good, it was like top 5, top 6, and then like other counties there's like top 2, top 3, and for CHSAA it was just top 2.
Yeah. So I know that if you were a state placer, state champ, stuff like that, you were automatically in.
Yeah.
But pretty much without those qualifications, it's hard to get in if you didn't sign up like right away.
Because they're gonna go on the wait list, and whoever that like they're gonna take the kids that are state place finishers that just signed up late instead of the kids that they're trying to petition it.
Yeah. Because having waitlisting a couple of other kids, I think it's almost like the qualification stuff, like it's fair, but it's also unfair in a way for like kids who haven't yet accomplished that goals that probably could have if this wasn't going on.
Yeah.
So it's like pretty much you have the free pass to get in if you have those accomplishments already, but you pretty much have to petition to get in to kind of like compete on that level.
And I know kids that did it, and like it's not exactly hard. You gotta email them and be like, look, I know I didn't do this well, but in this past year since then, this is all the other stuff I did. Like I've been working out every single day. I've been in the clubs every day, getting better. I'm not the wrestler I was a year ago. And like obviously those kids are gonna do good in the tournament too. So
because I'm looking to head down there and help Coach Mikey. I know Shane's gonna be there, so I'm hoping to get some nice footage and photos and stuff like that for the website and stuff like that. But they're labeling this tournament as the New York State Championships, and I think they're taking a couple of out of state kids also. So it's New York State plus out of state wrestlers.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's not like the official New York State, but like at least they're like someone's trying to do something, because the tournament's gonna be in Mannheim, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So
at least it's something, because we don't know what they're going to let us have in this upcoming season.
Yeah, so
Without a Catholic State.
it takes place before the Catholic season. And nationals, my coach basically said, if we have like something going on the weekend of nationals, we're all of us are missing it. We're all going to nationals.
Yeah. So
if we have like a dual meet against like Holy Trinity or something, we're going to nationals.
Yeah. It seems like I don't know if off-season competition like freestyle and Greco, I don't know if that's going to be going on, because I don't know if they're going to have a Fargo this year.
Well, the next day they have the freestyle championships.
Yeah, so I think that's like the qualifier for Fargo. I think it's the freestyle state tournament.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that they do. I want, especially the seniors, like I want them to get that last hurrah before they're out. Like I want them to have every chance they get to just wrestle. Because my class of 2020, we were fortunate enough that it happened after states.
Yeah.
So we were able to at least go to states, have a good tournament.
It was like 2 weeks later.
Yeah. So I want the next class to at least have that, or have something close to that.
Yeah. And hopefully like next year and the year after, for like the juniors this year, they get, I think by then hopefully
they'll figure something out.
Yeah. And also by then, with the vaccine and everything,
Yeah.
it'll go back to normal.
Because I was seeing track, they were posting it. There's already state championships going on. Like,
and like every other state has them.
Yeah.
Just not,
New York hasn't figured it out what they wanted to do yet.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that they can get something done at least. So
like right now, on Long Island, like they're having the wrestling season, and it's like they shorten it to 1 month. And like I have a lot of friends that are in the public schools, and like they have like at least 3 dual meets a week. It's crazy.
Arrow used to do that a lot too. We had like 3 dual meets in a week, and I think then like a tournament at the end of the week.
Yeah, like, but like not every single week though. Yeah. Like it was like
a lot.
That's like a 1 week.
Or cutting. That's a lot.
That's like a 1 week in the season type thing, where you just have like a crazy amount of like competition. But like normally, most of the seasons like a dual meet or 2 during the week, like 1 or 2, and then a tournament on Saturday.
Yeah, you wouldn't really get a lot like that in a normal season. It would pretty much just be like maybe a dual meet in a week. You maybe not have something that weekend, but every week 3 dual meets. That's a lot, especially they cram into a month. Like you pretty much prioritize what teams you're dueling, what competitions you're going to, how you're ending the season with what duels, with what tournaments. So we'll see what they do with the Catholic League. Hopefully they're smart about it and they can get something together, get you guys hopefully a Catholic State tournament. And we'll just see every day or every week or other week. They're pretty much giving updates on what's going on so far. They've been good with getting stuff out. But honestly, let's be real. The big goal is state championships. We don't know what they're going to be doing with that, if they're going to have one, if they're not going to have one. But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right. Thank you again for taking the time out of your day to do this.
Yeah,
a lot.
My pleasure.
I'm going to try to get this uploaded as quickly as I can. And you may be seeing this probably by the end of the day or sometime this week.
Awesome.
All right.
All right. I'll see you later.